Now we talk about the conflict of interest and political breakback between the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, and the incumbent Uba Sani. The latest of the face-off has seen the Kaduna State chapter of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria dismissing the allegations by El-Rufai, accusing Governor Uba Sani of diverting local government funds to acquire properties abroad. Algon, through its spokesman Muhammad Shehu, described El-Rufai's claims as, quote, false, patently absurd and ill-intentioned, aimed at misleading the public and discrediting the current administration. Now, El-Rufai had, in a recent interview with Arise News, said he was no longer a friend to his successor, Governor Uba Sani, who also served as his political advisor between 2015 and 2019. Well, we have joining us now in the studio a former minority leader and three-term member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Umar Barde. He represented Chukun Kajuru Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Sambo, to the program.
And thank you, Arise, for inviting me.
Yeah, so let's talk about this breakback between these two gentlemen who were very close friends, grew up together, and now they've been divided politically. And there's this fresh allegation now by Nasir El-Rufai against Governor Uba Sani, and the local government chairmen are all coming to say, no, there's nothing like this cheap political blackmail and all of that. I mean, when are we going to see an end to all of this breakback?
Thank you. It's unfortunate anyway that they have this disagreement. And sometimes, you know, there's this common saying that when the two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. But for me, in Kaduna State, the two elephants that are fighting is even making Kaduna State better.
Oh, interesting.
Very better. Better in the sense that people now know the difference between who really loves the people of Kaduna and who is pretending to love the people of Kaduna. Today, if you know what is happening in Kaduna State, Uba Sani, who is the present governor, has helped to galvanize unity in Kaduna. He has taken everybody along. You can remember the three senators who were dismissed by El-Rufai because they couldn't get their ticket back to the Senate. Today, they are back to APC. One of them was in PDP. That is the senator representing the Southern Senatorial Zone, Senator Danjumala. Yeah. Today is in APC. Now, you ask, why did he come back to APC? It means that we have a governor who wants to carry everybody along. So for me, if they are fighting, we bring unity, we bring security, we bring development to Kaduna, so be it. So if it's not going to end, then it means that Kaduna State is in for a good time with Senator Uba Sani.
And we've had these very strong allegations coming up. I mean, could Governor Uba Sani have been taking all these monies, buying properties abroad, and there'll be no checks and balances within the system? That's what people are asking.
You see, that is why sometimes when you look at politicians, unfortunately I'm one, when people talk, you want to look at them. Where are they coming from? What do they intend to achieve? Why will you make just open-ended allegation? He should prove it. Thank God Algon was proactive in telling Nigerians that never was there a time that Senator Uba Sani, who is our governor, took money from them. If, you know, in the court of law, they say who allege must prove. Is there any proof by Malam El-Rufai of what he said? So I think people should not take his word seriously. I think it's just political propaganda. And that is very bad. And that is what most of us politicians are known for. You don't want to give a dog a bag just because you want to hang it. There's no proof of that. So why is he making that statement? Just to hang Senator Uba Sani. But in Kaduna State, with the people we have, with the resilience and the development that we've seen today in Kaduna, nobody is going to believe that trash, because I will say it's trash. If you allege, you should be able to prove. When he made the allegation, he should have brought papers. And even papers to show that maybe he was the one Senator Uba Sani asked to buy the houses for him. So let him bring the papers to prove.
And so, then this comes up, you know, within the context of the allegations against Malam Nasir El-Rufai too by the Uba Sani administration, where the State Assembly indicted him for, you know, over 420 billion naira, you know, being misappropriated. And isn't this a kind of fight back?
Mr. Sambo, Senator Uba Sani, who is our governor, never alleged. Well, he just asked the House of Assembly to look at the papers.
Well, El-Rufai is saying that the State House of Assembly was acting based on the whims and caprices of the governor.
I don't think the House of Assembly in Kaduna is an appendix of Senator Uba Sani. They pass laws on their own, and they have stood on the side of what they believe is right several times. I can say it authoritatively. The speaker, who I know very well, of course, they have a good relationship with the governor, which is what we all want. Because where there's no good working relationship between the legislature and the executive, is the people that suffers. Because maybe projects will not be approved by the House, budget will not be approved. I mean, look at the scenario in River State. What brought about this problem? There was no budget, or budget was refused to be accepted, or budget was not approved. So for us, if the legislatures are working in tandem with the executive and projects are being executed in Kaduna to the betterment of the people of Kaduna State, I think it's a good thing for us.
And this has brought, a redesign of the polity within the state, because we've seen El-Rufai moving to the SDP, and some people have moved with him. But people like you are coming. I mean, you were formerly in the PDP, yes, but you're in the All Progressives Congress now. A lot of alignment and realignment, and people are wondering, is El-Rufai such a big factor? Could he actually upstage those of you now in the APC ahead of 2027? It
will be a big tax for him, and if humanly speaking, I think it's impossible.
Why?
Because look at the big fishes that we have now in APC. I'm somebody who has been in APC since 1990. I mean, who has been in PDP since 1999. I was in the National Assembly for 20 years, 5 times. And if today I move to APC, I think I must have seen something good in the present leadership of the governor. I wouldn't just move because I'm a politician. And why do you move? Of course, some of us, it's for personal gains. Yeah. For me, I will move for APC because the present governor has shown evidence that he will bring development to our people, he will carry us along, there will be unity in Kaduna, there will be security. These are the most important things you want to ask. So when I moved, it was not because I just wanted to move and tag along with the present governor. No, I moved because there are signs. I can tell you, today in my constituency, Chikunkajuru, 8 years of El-Rufai in administration, I can't really point to a project worth #1 billion. In my constituency.
Because, I mean, there were those allegations that those in Kaduna South actually didn't really
get so with much. The advent of our amiable governor, Senator Obasani, today the college road that he's constructing, which is in Sabontisha, is costing the government over 2 billion. That's one. There's the renovation of the hospital in Sabontisha, costing the governor over 1 billion. Then there is these roads. These are roads in Kujama Ward, which is Dambusha, KK, and so on. They are being constructed today. And if you sum up, they are going to cost the government nothing less than 3 billion. Now, apart from that, that's women development, right? That's development in terms of infrastructure. Now, you ask yourself, are people able to sleep now with their eyes closed? The answer now is yes. I will say it painfully here today. One of the things that made me not to believe in Malam El-Rufai was this. When the students of Baptist College were kidnapped, we pleaded with Malam El-Rufai to even visit the school, to sympathize with the parents. Nothing was done. These people spent months and even nearly years. Today, thank God, they've returned. But do you know that up till today, one student of Bethel Baptist School is still missing? Now, compared to today, the primary school students in Kuriga, in my local government, I want to cite the example because when we talk, we should be able to point to, some people will say, point to real facts on ground. The children of Kuriga Primary School were kidnapped. Proudly, Senator Obasani stepped in. All of them returned except one of their teachers that was killed, who was already, he was not very well. So today, if you go to that school, Kuriga Primary School, it has been fenced, the school is renovated, and students are back to that school. So if you want to ask yourself, what is government all about? Security, food, infrastructure comes second. So for me, I will beat my chest and said, we have a change. And the change we have today in governance of Kaduna State is positive.
All right, and that's attracted leaders like you.
Like me. Yes, it's good because I want to go up to my people and said, why won't you vote for this man? He has brought back your children. Within a period, it was less than 2 weeks. The whole student of primary school Kuriga were brought back. Are we saying, oh, we are not aware? or that is not a positive change? How about the governor who, during his period, your students were kidnapped, he never visited them? In fact, he even went further to blame the teachers of that school.
Well, very interesting perspective. I mean, that's why you put things in proper context.
That is it.
As a former federal lawmaker, former minority whip in the House of Reps. Now, let's talk about generally the issues of your constituency you mentioned about, Chukun Kajuru. It used to be a place where a lot of these insecurity issues happened, kidnappings, like you talked about, and so on. And I mean, the former House member who was representing there is late now. I mean, the House member who was representing there passed on, and you yourself, you indicated to actually contest for that. Within the context of what's going on now, there's no federal lawmaker within that place in the House of Reps now. What exactly have all of you been doing to actually fill this void alongside the authorities?
Honestly, I will tell you it is sad. Sad in the sense that I raised this concern some few months back, that now that the budget is being considered in the National Assembly, who will stand in the gap for the people of Chukun and Kajuru? Who will stand in the gap for us? It means that the governor and the speaker, fortunately for us, the speaker is from Kaduna. And I spoke with him. And he told me that he is going to take personal interest in making sure that the provision of the so-called constituency project will also be domiciled in Chukun Kajuru. Right. Which means whoever wins at the end of the day, will come and meet projects on the ground. All the person needs to do is to pursue it and make sure they are executed. But in the real sense of it, the people of Chukun Kajuru have lost a voice. Because there are issues, of course, like this River State problem that happened. If somebody were representing us, maybe we will have had a voice. We will call our representative and say, which way did you vote for? And we'll find out. Or what were you told made you to vote in support of the declaration of emergency? But as it is today, we have nobody to go to ask.
Yeah, and people have been wondering why hasn't INEC actually, put a date for election and all of that? Because, I mean, this seat has been declared vacant. INEC ought to have conducted an election in this place. So, and people want to wonder what exactly is holding, because we still have like more than 2 years, I mean, to the next general election.
Honestly, like I said, Sambo, it's unfortunate. Because INEC is supposed to have conducted this election long ago. That seat was declared vacant in June last year. And today we are in March. How many months? In the next 3 months, it will be a year without a representation in the National Assembly. So for me, I think INEC needs to look at their papers
we have
and do the right thing.
Actually, that they tabled it when they went for budget defense at the National Assembly, but they're also complaining of funds and all of that.
But the budget has been passed and money can be released now. And I want to be sure, I'm very sure Mr. President will release money to them so that they can conduct this election. Remember, there are many constituencies that have not, I think, if my statistic is right, 16 constituencies. Look at, they will have the Senator Uba, who died in the Senate, and the present governor of Edo State, who was once a senator.
Yes,
so vividly, I can remember we have 2 seats. Now, in the House of Rep, I think the seats that are vacant now, they are up to 10. Now, this is something that we feel, those of us that do not have a representation today, we are shortchanged. We are shortchanged because this is democracy. It's about participation.
Yeah.
So once we don't have somebody there to participate, to speak for us, we are shortchanged. So anyway, we have never experienced this long time of the demise of a member from my constituency. Yeah. But I want to be sure that if I'm able to go back, these are things that we really have to press on INEC to make sure that it shouldn't be more than 6 months to replace a legislator.
All right, well, let's talk about the person who died. Is Honorable Kene Abubakar Adams, who was of the Labour Party, and he defeated all of you previously in the wake of the obedient movement and all of that. And people are asking, why do you want to come back to the National Assembly, having spent 5 terms? I mean, I thought it was 3 terms, but you corrected me. It's 5 terms. Yes. What exactly have you forgotten at the National Assembly that you want to go back and pick?
I never forgot anything there. But the truth is that democracy, like I said, it's about participation. And the longer you are there, the more experienced you are. The present crop of the National Assembly members, I can tell you, most of them, I'm their senior. And you know, there's what we call ranking. Privileges are given to those who are older. If you look at what happened between Natasha and the Senate president, ranking member stays in the front.
Yeah.
They have more the heirs of the leadership. That is how the National Assembly operates. If you go to developed nations like America today, you see somebody, Joe Biden was a member of the parliament for how many years? I think over 50.
Since the 70s.
Yes, since 70s, over 50 years.
Yeah,
so which means with time,
late Senator Ed Kennedy, who stayed there
exactly,
for God
with
knows
time,
what.
your representation improves. And you have privileges that you enjoy more than a newcomer.
But do your constituents actually enjoy those privileges, or they only come to you as an individual? Because that's what people also keep saying.
No.
When you're there as a ranking person, most of the benefits that come, they are more to you as an individual, and the constituents do not have more.
I like to be very honest. In democracy, you that is the center of it. There is no way some benefits will not come to you as a person. Yeah. But a good politician will know that more than half of those benefits should go to your people. I asked this question. Why do you think I was returned up to 5 times? Some people have this thing that I was doing nothing. I have never done anything. Then I asked, it was a voodoo I was using to make people vote for me? So if I had a voodoo, if it was a voodoo, then I think my voodoo was a good one. It wasn't voodoo. It was just like, oh, we believe in you. You can still do better. Because the longer you stay, the better you serve your people. That's just it. If you go the first time, you learn how to move motions. You learn how to bring a bill. You learn how to even address the parliament. Look at what Natasha did. I mean, a senator of the Federal Republic did not know that she's not supposed to sign a petition submitted by her.
Yeah.
I mean, is that okay? So the longer you stay there, the experience you get enables you to be a good parliamentarian.
All right.
So that knowledge itself, of course, is to you personally. But from that knowledge that you get, benefits comes to your constituents.
Well, just before we wrap up the conversation very quickly, let's talk about the Chukwu Kajuru constituency itself. I mean, what's the population like, and what kind of support should they be getting from other political office holders who are surrounding, since there's nobody representing it after the death of Honorable Ekene?
So, if you look at our local government today, let me speak for Chukwu local government. I think it is one of the, if you talk of in terms of the number of registered voters, it is the third or not, if not the second in terms of population. So you can see that if you sideline this population, it is negative impact on the people. Today, I saw a federal road that ought to have been, put in the budget, but there was no provision for it because I'm privy to have a knowledge of what was approved.
Because there's no voice.
Because there was no voice. And I feel, okay, the road from, let me be specific, the road from Pijo Junction that runs through Busta in a prison in Kaduna, goes through on one Sunday to meet up the Sabuntesha Bridge. It's a federal road. Now, it was never captured in the budget. I'm happy that the previous governor started it, but he stopped it at the prison or the mobile police barrack. He stopped the road from there.
Yeah, I mean, I've followed that.
Yes, so you see, it is something that has drew us backward. Right. But I'm happy that our governor, Senator Obasani, despite the fact that it is a federal road, during last Christmas carol, he made a promise that he is going to use state money to make sure that that road is completed. All right. So he has given hope, despite the fact that if we had a representation in the National Assembly, it would have been better.
Okay, well, very strong points there. But any last word for these two gentlemen who are fighting, Naso Erufai and Obasani?
For me, it's for them to just put their acts together, because if today you tell me they are not friends, I would disagree with you. All right. They know where they meet. But politically, I can say yes, they are enemies, but they know where they can meet. All right. That's the truth. Oh. And the better, anyway, Erufai has left our party. Right. So for us, we are no longer together, because we are going to fight what he wants, because we want our party, the APC, to win in Kaduna State. All right. It's good to know that you've acclimatized in APC very quickly, having left the People's Democratic Party. Thank you so much, Honorable Umar. But there is former federal lawmaker representing Chukwu Kajuru Federal Constituency and former minority whip in the House of Representatives, and of course, former 5-term federal lawmaker in the House of Representatives. There are very, very few of you who have this kind of record. But thank you so much. Thank you. As one of the leaders of the House of Reps,
who have been helping out in the absence of a substantive House of Rep member representing that Chukwunkaju Federal Constituency. Well, that's the much we can take on this edition of This Week. Thanks to our production team here in Abuja, Lagos, and London. Do join us same time next week for another exciting edition. I'm Summer Sunday.